I don't know if you guys know this already, but I'm kind of a Monster Hunter fanatic. I've put hundreds of hours into pretty much every entry since Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. And when Monster Hunter World was announced, it was like my dream game come true. Epic monster battles, breathtaking environments, and that sweet cycle of kill monster, obtain sick gear, and now get back out there and go kill an even tougher monster. Rinse and repeat. And now that Monster Hunter Rise has been announced, just from the trailer alone, I gotta say, my hype is through the roof all over again. And in some ways, I think this Monster Hunter entry could be even better than World. Why do I say this? Well, due to a couple of reasons. Obviously, the graphics have been dumbed down. There's only so much that a Nintendo Switch can handle, so that's definitely a con. But to be fair, Monster Hunter's never been about the graphics, even if that was a welcome change to have in World. As much as I loved playing World, I think the combat in World was damn near the weakest out of all the Monster Hunters. When you think of Monster Hunter, every new game in the series introduced something new. Monster Hunter Freedom Unite introduced the longsword, gun lance, hunting horn, and the bow. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate introduced underwater combat, as well as the switch axe for the first time into the series. And with Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, mounting was introduced as a mechanic, as well as much more verticality in level designs, as well as new weapon types like the Charge Blade and Insect Glaive. Even in Generations, which was kind of a Monster Hunter spin-off, there were those skills that you could build up and let loose, which were awesome animations that dealt huge damage to the monster, and that was on the freaking 3DS. What was new that was introduced in World? Tracking monsters, I guess, which was still pretty cool, but I was hoping for something more substantial, like a new weapon type or mechanic for us to mess around with. I mean, at least bring back the underwater combat, that was pretty cool. But with Rise, it seems like we're getting back to Monster Hunter's roots here. I don't even care that they call this new mechanic the wire bug. It's a freaking Webslinger, and it looks awesome. Oh my god, look at him run up those wires.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.
I mean, seriously, these web-slinging animations look as good as the Spider-Man game on the PS4 for crying out loud. And web-slinging isn't even the main focus of Monster Hunter, since, the real main focus is to hunt monsters. Speaking of hunting monsters, the movement options that this new web-slinging allows you seem pretty expansive. Just look at this right here. We web-sling toward the monster, and then we're like, oh, yo, psych, trick ya, idiot, I'm actually going this way, and then we charge up our great sword, and I literally screamed out loud when I saw this the first time. You cannot tell me you guys didn't think that was awesome. Now compare what I just showed you guys to World. Can you do anything nearly as cool as that? This is pretty much how I play Greatsword in World. Just show him. Anyways, you guys get the point. World's combat definitely isn't its strong suit, and I feel that Rise's gameplay is going to be much more engaging and feel much better to play. It also seems like with the different weapon types, the wire bug works differently as well. The Greatsword wire bug combo seems to give you the ability to be more mobile in the air, while the wire bug and lance combo allows you to attach to the monster with the wire, then fling yourself forward and perform some sort of lunging attack. With the sword and shield, you swing your sword around the air like you just don't care while you're holding on to the wire. It's like a helicopter. And I'm sure there's plenty more where that came from with the different ways we can use the wire bug. I just wonder if there will be any restrictions when it comes to using the web-slinging machine. I'm sure there's got to be some sort of cooldown when it comes to using it, or maybe the devs will only allow us to use the wire bug under certain conditions. And all that gushing just now was for using the wire bug during combat alone. I don't even need to say how much more exploration this can now allow for. We're about to be web-slinging all over the place just to be able to mine some Dragonite ore. It also seems like they took some mechanics from World and put them in Rise as well, which I think is for the better. Sliding down terrain makes a return, The healing no longer has that eat and double bicep flex animation like my hunter's trying to stun on me or something. He actually drinks from his potion flask like in World, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if scout flies make a return as well, or at least I really hope they do. The maps might not be big enough in Rise to allow for it, but I really enjoyed having scout flies in World, since it felt like I was actually tracking the monster as if I was a real hunter. Turf Wars also make a return in this game as well. They really did take the best mechanics from World and put them in this game, while adding some spicy new stuff for us hunters to enjoy. Some of these new monsters look pretty interesting as well, with the Tetranodon in particular catching my eye. He seems similar to Dodogaron, but his attacks look more like an earthbender rather than that of a firebender, if you know what I'm saying. Tetranodon is able to expand his stomach by eating terrain, which also changes his attack pattern. In one attack he just jumps up and just shatters the earth around him. It looks pretty cool. Also, don't you guys think I forgot about the freaking puppy. That dude's gonna be saving me for sure when I'm at 1 HP, and I've already carded twice and I just gotta hit the monster one last time. One thing that does have me a bit worried though is the fact that G-Rank or some sort of equivalent probably won't be a thing in this game. Now if you don't know what G-Rank is, the best way to describe it is that it's pretty much Monster Hunter's endgame content. They usually aren't in Monster Hunter's new releases, but come in a subsequent release around a year or so afterward. Just look at Monster Hunter 4, then Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate for an example of what I'm talking about. Or even World, then Iceborne, which came about a year or two afterward. I'm not really complaining since Monster Hunter games, even without G-Rank or extra content after you've quote-unquote finished the game, are still filled with hours and hours of things to do. But I would rather not spend 100 or so hours on a character just to hear that a new and improved version is getting released a year later. So hopefully, if that does happen, it won't be a standalone game. Maybe just make it some DLC that I could upgrade to, so I could transfer over my save data without having to play the same game twice. But all in all, that pretty much sums up my impressions of Monster Hunter Rise. I think the gameplay is going to be much more enjoyable than World's combat was, and they're adding the best mechanics from World in Rise, so we get to enjoy the best of both worlds here. See what I did there? Anyway guys, what did you all think of Monster Hunter Rise? Are you more about Rise than you are for World? Let me know down in the comments below, because I always enjoy reading your comments. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, dislike it if you disliked it, and subscribe for more content like this in the future, since it lets me know to make more of it. Otherwise, Monster Hunter Rise is going to be more like Monster Hunter Downfall.